Basically, DevOps is a collection of tools. Collection of tools. What is the purpose? Purpose: development to deployment automation. Development to deployment automation. So normally what happen, as a developer, they are going to install Git software in local machine. Now what is the purpose of Git software? Git software is a version controlling software. Okay, it is a version controlling software developed by Linus Torvalds. Linus Torvalds, who is Linus Torvalds? Who developed Linux operating system, kernel. So Linus Torvalds is going to develop this Git software. It is a version controlling, or you can say it is a distributed version controlling. Before this Git software, when developer is going to develop the code, they are going to save number of times, because they have to think, they have to analyze it, and then they are going to write the code. So number of times they are going to save the code. So each and every time they are using some name, suppose proj underscore date and time, or proj underscore v1, next time proj underscore v2, v3, like this. Manually we have to maintain it, name of the file. But Git software is going to solve these issues. Once you install the Git, you just save the file using same name. Git is going to manage all the versions. Suppose if you save first time, then second time, third time, the file name is same. File name always you are using proj. Git is going to manage version 1, version 2, version 3, like this. So Git is going to manage the version. So Git is known as version control. Because in same location, suppose in your machine on desktop, you cannot save two files using the same name. Suppose my file, another one also my file. You may utilize my file 1, my file 2, but same name multiple file is not possible. So Git is going to solve these issues. Okay, developer has no headache. Developer is going to save it, just save it. So when development is okay, when developer more or less satisfied, what happened? He is going to upload the file in GitHub. GitHub is a repository, central repository. Suppose one developer from Bangalore, one developer from Hyderabad, few developer from Chennai, but they are going to upload to same GitHub account. Okay, team lead is going to manage the GitHub account. Once it is reached to GitHub, what happened? Another tool is there, Jenkins. Jenkins is going to pull the code, or GitHub is going to push the code. Ultimate code is reached to Jenkins machine. This is another machine. Once Jenkins reach this machine, what happened? Jenkins is going to, what is the job of Jenkins? Jenkins' job is test, build and deploy or deliver. Jenkins' job is test, build and deliver or deploy. So either Jenkins is going to deploy on a web server or any other testing purpose, just one server. If it is multiple, then we are going to use Ansible. This Ansible is going to deploy. Ansible is going to deploy that software, that code to web server. Okay, web server. So what happened? From Git to Git is the local machine. From this local machine, we are going to upload to GitHub. Automatically, code is moved to Jenkins. How it is? One method is there. That method name is web hook. Different method also there. Mostly we are using webhook. It is secure. Otherwise, you can utilize HTTPS also. So through webhook, GitHub to Jenkins. Okay, GitHub to Jenkins. Now Jenkins, after test, build and delivered to the Ansible. Once the code reach to Ansible, Ansible is going to deploy it to web server. Fine. So web server, development to deployment, automation. Just developer develop it and upload to GitHub and just open one browser and check it. This GitHub to web server, it is automated. So this Jenkins, it is basically known as CI tool, continuous integration, because it is going to integrate to GitHub, it is going to integrate to Ansible. So Jenkins is known as CI tool, continuous integration, and Ansible is known as CD tool, continuous delivery or deployment. Ansible is going to deliver it or deploy it. So this is web server purpose, it is okay, perfect. But in future, we are going to develop, the developer is going to develop some application which is microservices. This is for web server, or you can say monolithic applications. If it is microservices, you have to know what is microservices. We will discuss it later. If it is microservices, microservices is going to deploy on Docker container. So ultimate target point is Docker or Kubernetes. Docker or Kubernetes. Fine. Docker or Kubernetes. So if it is Docker or Kubernetes, then development is little bit different. That is not our part. Our part, we have to utilize Docker software with Jenkins, as well as we have to use another software, that is Git. Few other softwares we are going to use, that is other tool. One tool is SonarQube. SonarQube is going to check the quality of developer's code. SonarQube is going to check the quality of the developer's code. So we have to integrate this SonarQube with Jenkins. Whenever code reach to Jenkins, automatically Sonar scanner through, it is going to scan and scan report uploaded to SonarQube server. Once your code is okay, final, then code is going to store for near future. That is one type of bank where we are going to store the code for future purpose. That is artifact. Basically in industry they use JFrog artifact, but we are going to use JFrog is not free of cost. we are basically going to use AWS S3 as a artifact. So once code reached to Jenkins, what happened? Code is going to scan report going to store in SonarCube, and at the same time, that code is going to store an artifact, this S3, for near future, that is future purpose. So we have Jenkins is going to integrate with GitHub, SonarCube, artifact, and Ansible. Now if it is Docker, it is fine, no issue. But if it is Kubernetes, then this is also okay. Okay, this is also okay. But Kubernetes purpose, this structure is going to different. We are not going to use CI and CD tool as a Jenkins and Ansible. Normally what happen? It is GitHub and it is Git. Then GitHub, we are going to use GitHub action. This GitHub action as a CI tool. So if I use GitHub action, what are the advantage? Advantage is one machine is going to off, Jenkins machine. That is one more EC2. So you have to pay for the EC2 for CI purpose. Now Jenkins is not required. My GitHub also going to act as a GitHub action, that is act as a CI tool. Okay. From this CI tool, now CD tool is required. But normally what happen if it is Kubernetes? Nowadays we are going to use Argo CD. This GitHub action with Argo CD, this is known as GitOps, not DevOps, it is known as GitOps. So developer is going to develop and they upload to GitHub with the help of GitHub action. It is CI tool. Argo CD is going to pull it and deploy it in Kubernetes. Okay, this module nowadays it is high demanding, GitOps. So you have to check this one also. But when we are using
Sir, one question here.
Please.
So in GitOps, there is no part of Docker. Is that so, sir?
No. Docker is there because without Docker, Kubernetes is not possible.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is a prerequisites. But we are not going to install complete Docker. It is Kubernetes 1.20 onwards. It is completely changed. Previously, we are going to install complete Docker, but nowadays runtime Docker. Suppose in your machine, you are not a Java developer. You are not going to install Java Software Development Kit SDK. But in your machine, Java virtual machine is there. Because if any website is developed in Java without Java virtual machine, it is not going to show the content on web server or web browser. So here also what happened? Docker is required. So we are going to install Docker runtime. Because without Docker, container is not possible. Without container, Kubernetes pod is not possible. Slowly we'll start it. So this is our next requirement, GitOps. That is GitHub action with Argo CD. Argo CD is a CD tool. Automatically name also going to provide CD, that is CD tool, continuous delivery or deployment, and GitHub action as a CI tool. Now if I am going to use Kubernetes here, Kubernetes related few other tools also there, that is monitoring tool. Normally in market they are using Prometheus, Grafana, mainly these two. With Prometheus some agent also there, plus sometimes Loki also used. So you have to understand this monitoring tool, Prometheus, Grafana, Loki. What are the advantage? Why industry use it? Free of cost. These are all open source. So nowadays, high demanding tool is this Kubernetes and this portion, GitHub Action with Argo CD. But Kubernetes purpose, Docker also second level important tool, because without Docker Kubernetes is not possible. Ansible, still now it is important, not as a CD tool but as a management tool. If I want to apply one patch to 100 Linux machine, if I want to install one software to 100 Linux machine, then best option is Ansible. Ansible as a management tool, which is going to used by system administrator, network administrator. Ansible as a CD tool, which we are going to use in normal projects, CI/CD projects. Ansible is an ISE tool also, infrastructure as a code. Now, next option is, one more tool is there, most important, that is Terraform. Terraform is going to create the infrastructure on any cloud, AWS, Azure, Google, or on-premises virtualization in VMware. So Terraform also in high demand. So what is the flow? Flow from developer to either web server or Docker testing purpose, but actual production and testing Kubernetes. Ultimate requirement is Kubernetes. So we are going to start this Git software, Git and GitHub. Git and GitHub, once it is 40% completed, our target is we are going to learn Ansible, around 30-40% complete. Then Jenkins, around 30-40%. We have to complete one web server related CI/CD projects, that is continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. Automate. Once it is over, you have some idea about CI/CD, what is this, how it is, what is the flow. Then we are going to install Docker also. And now our target, not web server, now it is container based application. Okay, container based application, that is web server, web page, it is going to open web page, but it is going to deploy where? On container, not on machine. Because these are all microservices. That time we will discuss when we are going to start Docker. We will discuss microservices, monolithic and others. So Docker is going to start. Once Docker 40% over, we try to complete two CI/CD projects. Then we will back and complete Git, GitHub, ultimate 80%, Jenkins fully, Docker fully, Ansible fully. Then SonarQube and Artifact we will add it. So our DevOps section A, that is the base, and Ansible, Docker also important. Base is ready. Now section B. Section B we will start from Kubernetes. This section A, it will take around 15 classes. Section B, Kubernetes, only Kubernetes, it will take 15 classes. And Terraform, 6-7 classes. So within this next 15 classes, we are going to cover Kubernetes A to Z. Then we introduce Terraform, 6-7 classes, Prometheus, Grafana, 2-3 classes, GitHub Actions, Argo CD related projects, normal projects also, that is CI/CD. When my endpoint is Kubernetes, using Ansible, Jenkins. Then removing Jenkins and Ansible, we are using GitHub Action and Argo CD. If we complete around 10-12 project also, then your concept will be clear. In our website already 15-16 projects is displayed. After completion of this DevOps, GitOps, next option is DevSecOps. We have to apply some security inside of our CI/CD. Inside of our CI/CD, we have to apply some security. Okay, HTTPS, different port, different home folder. One by one, we are going to apply it. So now, what is the requirement? I'm going to install the Git, and I'm going to show you Git how it is going to work. So basically, when I install Git in your PC, you are going to install Git. Simple command yum install Git. Git installation over. You can check Git version. After that, make a directory. Okay, make directory proj semicolon cd proj. So it is now inside of proj. Here we have to use git init. What happened? When I execute git init, this directory related to git, that is .git, one file is going to create. Inside of .git, so many metadata is going to store. That means Git is going to take the responsibility of this proj directory. Now create file. File 1, file 2. After that, we have to inform to Git, please take care of this file. How to inform? How to inform it? For that purpose, see, when you are going to create this file, that is known as working directory. Your file is here in working directory. File 1, file 2. From this working directory, we have to pass it to stage or index area. Stage or index area. From stage or index area, it is going to move to Git repository. That is local machine, Git repository. My local machine Git software is going to take care of this file. Now from this machine we have to upload. Okay, we have to upload to GitHub. That is basically known as push. In DevOps it is known as push. Push to GitHub. And when you are going to download something from GitHub, that is known as pull. Okay, another option is there, fetch. So tomorrow we are going to discuss what is the difference between pull and fetch. Another option also there, clone. So let's see installation of Git software, creation of directory, and then Git init, initialization, then create file, then move it to stage area, from stage area to Git repo, from Git repo to GitHub. How it is possible?